Today is May 10th, 2025. I'm up here at the Iron Gate Bridge in the boat launch and near the Iron Gate Fish Hatchery. Thought I'd come up today and kind of see what things are looking like. It's a nice, beautiful day. Sun is out. There's no clouds. So I figured I'd have a better visual of what the water clarity looks like. So I thought I'd come up and scope it out. That's looking at the boat launch area and the dry hydrant. Kind of what things are looking like between the two bridges. That bridge right there is the new one that they put in while they were taking the dams down. Seems to be more birds flying around up here today. I can see some bugs flying in the air. Butterflies are out. This week we've been in the 80s. Yesterday I think we were like 88 degrees. Today we're supposed to be high 70s, low 80s. Then I believe tomorrow we're supposed to start getting rain and thunderstorms again, Sunday afternoon and Monday. And then we're kind of supposed to cool off for a few days and then maybe be in the 70s by next week. So I'm going to pause it and go over on the bridge. So I'm now on the bridge. This is kind of what the clarity is looking like from up here. I can see that they've got the sonar back up, which would be right there. It wasn't here last weekend. Come down just a little bit. I'll get a better vantage point of that down from below. Sorry if I'm getting some of the fence in there. That's what it's looking like upstream. Lots of birds flying today. They weren't here last weekend. Oh, sorry, I'm getting the fence in there. Kind of pan out. I don't notice much of a smell today. You might get a hint here and there. But it has been warm, so I know we've had a lot of snow melt off of our mountains. That would be at the boat launch site and where they have the dry hydrant where that comes in. So I'm gonna pause it. Apologize if I get the fence, I'm just trying to video through it. So this is what it's looking like going down the Klamath River. That would be the boat launch in the dry hydrant area. You can still see all the sand that's still left here. Water clarity is actually not bad. Out so far anyways. You can kind of see that some of that is compacted, that clay type material within the rock. I figured with the sun being out today, we'd have a better idea of what the clarity is. I know that there's Linda Leach who does a good job every day documenting what the water looks like, the clarity down where she lives, down below the Collier's Rest area. And this morning her samples were looking pretty clear. On the top, that is, it's hard to tell down lower. This is what it's looking like upstream. I can't see the sonar from here. See a few bugs flying around. You can see all the ripples in the water from all the sediment. So I'm going to walk back down towards the boat launch site. This is kind of what some of the rocks look like. I think that's where I was last weekend. This is where it goes out, where they get from for the dry hydrant. You can see the big rocks that they put in there. Not sure if you can see right up in there. This is where the sonar is. Sorry if it's a little shaky. The more that I zoom in, the shakier it gets. And that sonar is located below where the former dam was. The former dam was up and around that bend. Lots of birds flying underneath the bridge. sure if you can see them in the camera. And over on the other side, you can still see where there's a sediment still built up on the sides. I noticed that on my way up here too. There's a few areas, there was some higher benches, I guess you could say, in the middle of the river, and I saw a few trees out in the middle. On my way out, I'll see if I can get those. Not sure what kind of traffic was going to be up here today. Some areas there's not much room to stop and park safely. I'm at the edge of the boat launch area. This is that little rock formation that they put in. You can tell some sort of bird's been down here. They must have the pumps going on down at the fish ladder. I can kind of start to hear it now. It's kind of hard over the water, but I can start to hear it. But this is kind of what the water's looking like. Like I said, clarity is actually not too bad. You can see the pebbles and the fine sediment down there in the bottom. So far out. And that area is where the pump is. It's kind of hard to see it from here. Again, that's where the sonar is. that's my tour for you guys today. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the water. I come away from the water, but that's kind of what it's looking like today. Actually, visually looking at the water, I don't see any bugs on the water. I just see kind of bugs up flying higher in the grasses up above, but I don't really see anything on or in the water. I'm sure that you could tell that from my videos too. I didn't see any kind of bugs in the water, just flying up and above and around the water. I know that was a question that I was asked. Like I said, I haven't seen anything on the water either, but I'm gonna head down back towards the Klamathon Bridge. There was somebody there when I got there this morning, so I figured I'd hit that on my way out. Anyways, that's what it's looking like here. I'm off to my next stop.